Now, I told SP her day was coming. And I'm a man of my word. Let me grab her folder real quick. Let me grab SP's folder. So, this one right here is a traitor. Oh, he ended? Okay. So I told her day was coming. This one right here, yeah, he ended. Okay. Okay. She sold us out. This lady right here, we stood 10 toes down with her. He's coming over here? What does he want? No, we already did Paul. We already did Jordan Paul. Here's the thing. This one sold us out for money. And I told her I was coming for her. Because we stood 10 toes down with her for a long time. He's coming over? What does he want, a box? Do I have to stop this, pause until he gets here? Hold on. Let me know when he gets here. If he comes over here, let me know when he gets here. Okay, he's not coming. Well, if he comes over here, tell him to request a box, please. He can request a box. Let's continue. Okay, no problem. No problem. If he's not coming over, then that's fine. Now, let me say this. Somebody that you stand 10 toes down with, and then we walked away from her. We walked away from her for a reason. She was talking about little ones. She was talking about children. And she wouldn't stop. She just would not stop. And me and Mrs. Homie said enough is enough. And there's other reasons why we walked away from her. She used to be in our boxes all the time. And come to find out, she sold us out for I believe she got paid. She sold us out to somebody that we were bringing awareness about on TikTok. And even after she sold us out, she was still getting in the boxes. Basically, she was laughing in our faces. Because, come to find out, she sold us out towards the beginning of our awareness. When we started awareness back in April. So we started awareness last year in January, right around April. We were bringing awareness on an ex-police officer who was doing some very, very bad things and claiming to be a police officer and then wasn't even a police officer at the time. If you've been around, you know who I'm talking about. They're still on TikTok. So, come to find out, I don't know, maybe like a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, we were bringing awareness on Dax Emery, which is I Am Emery on TikTok. I believe that she was paid. I believe that she got paid to sell us out. And one of the reasons that she sold us out as well is Dax Emery filed a lawsuit in California. I Am Emery is a crazy story. So Dax Emery filed a lawsuit against me and 3 other people on TikTok in California, where TikTok headquarters is at. Yes, I Am Emery. Well, I Am Emery it was a junk lawsuit. Did not like the fact that we were bringing awareness about him. And to avoid being part of the lawsuit, that's when SP Cherry Blossom Special, Phoenix Rising, Tamori Connard, and she has a new alias. She decided she was going to sell us out, me and Mrs. Homie. Hey, Dulce, buenas tardes. Wesley scammed you out of a lot of money. Please send me receipts. Nickel 5, send me some receipts. Or send me a message and send me some receipts. Because I need receipts. That's what I need. So I could show everybody in the community. So that way she could, from the message that I see, yeah, gather them, please, and then I'll provide you an email, and you can send me the receipts to email, and I'll share it with the community. So from the message that I seen that was sent over, they sent it to KK, and then KK shared it with us. Yeah, if you could do that, Nickel 65, we'll share it with the community. Now, when you sell somebody out that stood 10 toes down with you, all for, like I said, in my honest opinion, she got paid and to avoid being part of the lawsuit. And in that message it stated that SP and her boyfriend, husband, whatever you want to call him, they were having some tax issues. They owed some back taxes. So she made a deal. She made a deal with the individual that we were bringing awareness about. I'll give you Mr. and Mrs. Homie's information as long as you don't involve me in the lawsuit. And it was crazy. Then she started, we had victims coming into the live stream in the comments. So we had victims that were sharing their story, that they would send me messages on TikTok, then they would email me. SP started giving Dax Emery the victim's information. The people, she would give Dax Emery TikTok usernames of the victims in order to scare the victims from coming forward. No, he's an ex-police officer, and I got all the paperwork. That's the type of individual that SP became. So that way she wouldn't be involved in the lawsuit. That way, I believe in my honest opinion. No, Dax Emery is not a police officer. He's an ex-police officer. I got the paperwork. Yes, I got the paperwork. Hold on. Sorry, everybody. Sorry about that. I wanted to see what my dogs are barking at. So, the thing, she didn't want to be involved in all this, but she was giving up victims. Yeah, he's an ex-police officer. I've showed so many receipts on him, it's ridiculous. That's why he tried to sue us. But SP went and sold us out to him. And when I found that out, yeah, Burley, yeah, he does. Yes, Queen Chewy, I have all the paperwork. So when I found out that she sold us out the way she did, and then I found out that behind the scenes, KK is the one that has all the receipts. It's okay, Berries. I agree with you. Now, the thing about this whole situation is, when I found out that she sold us out like that, I made it my mission, because KK has receipts where right now, behind the scenes, on the back end, besides all the TikTok gifts that she got on TikTok, because she used to get TikTok gifts every single day, several times a day, it's calculated at over $20,000 that she received from people off of TikTok behind the scenes. That itself, and she was bringing awareness to Chris Mosteller and several other people. And if KK's in here, there you go. Just last year, I was about to ask that question, KK. Um, and you could get a box if you would like, KK. That was just last year, and they've only calculated a little bit over 20,000. KK would be the one. You gave her three, country girl. I was disgusted. 3,000. Okay, here comes KK, because KK will tell you better than. And I told SP I was coming for her. Hey, KK.
Hey, um, so yes, correct. And I was trying to put my comments in the thing, but I guess I'm saying a word that they don't like. But yeah, over $21,000 last year, because we had a few more people come forward. So yeah, we're over $21,000 behind the scenes, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, just last year, 2024. And then in gifts, we have roughly about, it's like 3,200, but that's just like the last half of last year. And some people want to count the gifts, some people don't want to count the gifts. We just have it in there just to give people an idea, you know? And, you know, I don't even know how many other people have given her money who are either afraid to come forward or haven't come forward. Maybe they don't know about it. Maybe they, you know, fell off the app, something like that. I believe there's more too. And if I count what I know about here in 2025 and in 2023, we are close to, I mean, we'll probably be close to about $30,000. So, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of money, and this was all behind the scenes. Yeah, Katie Bear was one of her mods. I was one of her mods. I seen several of her mods in here. Katie Bear gave her a lot of money. And like she said, in gifts, TikTok universes, lions, just a ton of money. I gifted her as well. I gave her a little bit of money behind the scenes in 2023, and I had just became a mod, and I just wanted to like, hey, I love you. Hey, you know, just want to help you out. So a lot of us had no earthly idea how much money she was getting behind the scenes, and she would give us these excuses like her daughter got into a car accident, which she did. That was true, but a lot of it after the fact wasn't. Her saying that she had to go to a long-term care facility. That was incorrect. She was going to do subs to help take care of her children, like her daughter's children, and bills for Christmas and stuff like that. Nope. She did not go into a long-term care facility. She was out back on the streets, and unfortunately, she does have an issue with rugs, and she was back, you know, being arrested a couple weeks later. So that's how we know she didn't go into a long-term care facility. So she had a lot of us. Yeah, and her rings. She kept saying she had to pawn her rings. She was just going to do that. And she basically would copy and paste the same message to several different supporters that were in her lives that threw big gifts. And she would basically say the same thing. Hey, I'm short. Can I borrow this money? Can I have this money? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's been a journey. It has been a journey throughout all this stuff. She also did get arrested for a 20-year-old warrant for rugs as well. And right now she's on the run. She is on the run. So if you had, oh yes, so thank you, Joan Marie, for mentioning that, because that reminds me, people had talked to her family, and her family has said that to their knowledge, they are not aware of any DV situation she was in that created her to have this TBI, plates in her face, all of this reconstructive surgery, et cetera, et cetera. She was always the aggressor in the relationships. She was never a DV victim, from what a lot of us are hearing. So all of her stories were false. I mean, I know that she did help a few people. I do have the proof of that. She did help people, but it probably wasn't even her own money, you know? But she was very, very good at what she did. Yeah, Fiona. I don't even think any of that DV stuff was true. And that's something that a lot of us kind of came together on. A lot of us in the community were DV survivors. I'm a DV survivor. People who were in addiction, fighting and battling to stay clean. It was all a facade. It was all a facade. And she's very good at covering her tracks. And, she lied about Nancy. She's on the run because, so long story short, she was talking about some things that were inappropriate, that were allegedly going on with children. I say allegedly because it wasn't happening, but she got a court order for her to stop talking about it. And then she continued relentlessly on the internet. And, I think they're wanting to do something about it, which I could totally understand. Because what she did was terrible. She also was the one who perpetuated blackmailing the gentleman that I have been posting. The mole is who we called him. His name's Campfire Chris. He was a mole trying to get information from Chris Mosteller. She is the one that perpetuated that whole story of him being a actual deviant, an actually harassing 954 Dirty South, which is not true, claiming that he was begging her for NUDESs. He was being very inappropriate. He was saying disgusting things to her, all of which were never true. None of it was true. And I've shown the proof on that as well. It was all consensual conversation, and none of that actually happened. She threatened this man's family. She threatened to contact this man's wife over lies, just so they wouldn't speak up and basically stop her money train. Yep.
Well, when you shared that message over to Mrs. Homie, and Mrs. Homie said, I want to show you what's going on. And one of the reasons, like I said, that we walked away. Yeah, all her accounts on social media are private. And there's a reason for it. One of the reasons we walked away is she kept talking about people's children. And I said enough is enough. That's one of the reasons. And we walked away, me and Mrs. Homie, because the simple fact is, we don't like to talk about little ones on the platform. We don't like to talk about children. We had her in the boxes quite a bit. And SB has broken up a lot of communities. She has torn apart communities. And it was her way or the highway. And, if it wasn't her way, then, you were a prime target. That goes for anybody. You became a prime target. But the moment that KK shared that message that was sent to KK through email, and Mrs. Homie showed me, I was at a loss for words because we stood 10 toes down with SP. And then for her to be a traitor, for her to sell us out, because I believe she got paid to sell us out for money, for $1, that's a big no-no. Because we never talked about her. Even when we walked away, I never talked about her. And I said, no. Now, all gloves are off. I said, now, SP, you're going to find out what it is for the Mexican homie to, because SP knows how we roll and how we conduct ourselves. and the amount of research that I will do on my end to find her, to expose her, to put it all out there. Because I'm going as far back as trying to get a hold of certain people regarding, I know that KK was not able to find a trail for what they previously said about her regarding the YouTube videos that were put out about her taking in money, thousands of dollars previously, right, KK?
Correct. Yeah, I got people talking about it, but I never seen anyone show like any proof. And I don't want to invalidate anybody who gave money, who got scammed, or whatnot. I don't want to invalidate them. I personally have never seen any physical receipts. Like here's a Cash App receipt I sent her on CA, or here's a PayPal or whatever. And that stuff should be on there. You could go back years and years, unless, you closed out your account or something. But I've never seen any proof. And I have gone through probably over 100 hours of YouTube videos because I was trying to find the truth out. And the gentleman, I don't know if he wants me to call him out, but the gentleman that she put through hell, I just seen him, sneak in here. It was awful. Chris Mosteller, he's a turd. He's a beggar / scammer here on TikTok and favorited. So he's a turd, but I wouldn't say that, no, he is not a horrible person. Like, he's a bad father and he's a beggar and a scammer, but he didn't traffic his children. He didn't do anything inappropriate, to my knowledge. So, but he is definitely a beggar / scammer here on TikTok. But yeah, Chris Mosteller's final tour is the one that she made all those disgusting claims about. And it seems like that's the first thing she goes to whenever she talks about somebody and just wants to take him down quickly, is that stuff.
Yeah. And because SP was a moderator for us, and I believe, in my opinion, that she blocked a lot of accounts that would call her out. Just that way, when she was in a box, she wasn't getting called out while she was in a box. And I went already and started unblocking for a little while now. We've been unblocking accounts little by little, going through the block list, unblocking people that we think that she purposely blocked. And I went back and started unblocking accounts, because, she didn't want to be called out while being in a box. Now.
Oh, absolutely. She did that to a lot of people, and she would get very upset because I'm mutuals with actually a lot of people who didn't really care for her. And she would get very upset about it. But with just like what you say, with awareness, you kind of have to have an open platform. And all I wanted was the truth. So, but she would get really, really upset with me being mutuals and having certain people on my page. But I wanted to know the truth. I did. It took me a minute to take off those rose-colored glasses and find out about all the money and stuff behind the scenes and everything else that went on. Like, there is so much stuff that happened behind the scenes. Like, she has someone's children's pictures from years ago. Like, I'm like 5-6 years ago, still on her iCloud or whatever. Why would you have someone's children's photos that's not related to you from years and years and years ago? Max, right. I can agree with you about a couple of them. Yeah, I was one of her mods though, and I don't think I'm awful. So I'm biased.
Hey, Otto.
Hey, good evening. I just all I wanted to say is I wanted to touch base on KK was saying about how she goes after kids and stuff, people's kids, and that's exactly what she did to me when she wanted to try to expose me. She didn't really expose me. She exposed my kids. She showed all my kids, pictures and stuff, showing them like their private info that she found, and then like she showed my son a picture of me and my son when he graduated boot camp from the Marines, and he's like, she says, "Look at his face. You could tell he was happy to get away from him." You know, that's the kind of shit that she did. She went after people's kids, like the lowest of the low. You know, that's really all I wanted to add. She loves going after people's kids.
And Otto, I don't know if you missed it. That was one of the reasons that we did step away. There's other reasons. Witches and brooms, I don't know what's going on there. Now, Otto, I don't know if you missed it a bit ago. I did mention one of the reasons we walked away is because the simple fact that talking about you know, we don't like to talk about little ones. We don't like to talk about people's children. You know, we always say the kids are off limits, but we did. That's one of the reasons we stepped away. And like I said, when she was a moderator, she blocked a lot of people. Okay, KK. She blocked a lot of people that she didn't like. The ones that would call her out while she was in a box. And I see why she did that, because she just didn't want to be called out. And I went back and I unblocked a lot of people. And still to this day, I'm going back and unblocking people slowly but surely. Now, I also mentioned that she tore a lot of communities apart because she went after so many people. If it was not her way, it was the highway, and you would become a prime target. You had a target on you. If you went against her, you had a target on you as well. So, and a lot of people are scared of her. There's a lot of people out there that are very scared of SP. I tell you what, I am not one of those people. I will never be scared of SP or Tamori Connor or her new alias that she has developed, which I have an entire folder built up for her. I'm not scared, and I'm never going to be scared of her. What she doesn't realize, and she knows how we conduct ourselves over here, and the amount of research that we do over here on my end, because I said it before. I said it after I found out that she betrayed us for $1. She sold us out for money to Dax Emery, Dax Brooks Emery, somebody that we brought awareness to. When I found that out, all gloves were off. And I never talked about her, even after we went our separate ways. I never talked about her. She was unmodded. And once I found out she sold us out for $1, I said, "Oh, is this what we're doing?" All gloves are off. And she's about to find out that she thinks she's untouchable and she could cover all her tracks. She sold us out for $1. She sold out me and Mrs. Homie's information for money. But at that, go ahead, Otto.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to add, homie. So I used to follow her a long time ago when she covered Mufasa, and then she was live one time, and she literally on her computer screen doxed his address, and that's when I kind of stepped back. And then I did kind of start watching her again when True Tellers, it was taking a break, and she was covering Chris, Campfire Chris. And then I kept getting all these messages because I do awareness too, and saying, "Hey, you need to look her up, look into her," and I did. I spent a lot of time, and KK mentioned it too, like how she tried to look into find evidence about that scam helping that lady with the special needs children, and I seen a lot. Same thing KK said. I seen a lot of videos, but there was actually no proof at all. So I kind of just stepped back. I didn't get involved. But when she started going after over and over and over about the trafficking, the actual trafficking, if you know what I mean, that's when I had enough. That's when I'm like, okay, I'm a parent. I can't sit back and let this happen anymore. And then she threw me into it, saying I was involved in it, and everybody else in that Discord was involved in it, covering it, and we're all just we're all doing it to make money off of children. And that's when I started, joining in on doing the awareness about her, and she didn't like it. And so, to go after me, she went after my kids. That's what she did. And she told nothing ever came out of it because luckily someone sent me the video of her doing it, and so I was able to get ahead of it. So I warned all my family and my kids, because she even showed my stepmom on there, thinking it was my mom, saying, "Oh, she works for Children's Services. Oh, well, you guys know what to do. You guys know. Oh, his daughter works here. Here, you guys know what to do. Do your thing." And I know that 954 was one of the big ones in the chat commenting saying, "Yep, I know, I'll be on it. I'll be on it." But nothing did come out of it that I know of. Like no one said, none of my kids or family said anything. But I gave them a heads up, you know, to be
Yeah,
they go ahead of it.
and I'm sorry that has happened to you. But now she's about to feel what the Mexican homie can do. Because go ahead, KK.
I was just gonna say to Otto, I just want you to know that we absolutely had no idea that she was gonna do that and just go absolutely feral with those photos. I'm not throwing anybody in the bus, absolutely not. But we had no idea that she was going to do the things that she did, because of course she does some of her own research, but she's like, okay, does anyone know his Facebook? Does anyone know this? Does anyone know that? So we were like, oh yeah, we got you. Cause we were like, it was the back and forth thing, and me and you have talked about other things, but had we known that that was going to happen, or any of the things that she showed and did was going to happen, we would have never helped her with any of this stuff. And I think I can speak for probably every single one of the mods that I speak to now. Had we known, we would have never helped her with any of that.
She got hold of the Facebook that she showed was it was an older Facebook. Like I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but I had gotten a new phone and I lost my login information, so I kind of had to start a new one. And then going on TikTok, especially being in the awareness community, I learned real quick that you need to lock up and hide all your stuff. So like my new, my newer Facebook and stuff like that, it's locked up and stuff. But that one in particular, I lost, I couldn't get in, I couldn't get access to it. So whatever's there was there, but that's just something I guess I've learned, and hopefully everybody else can learn that too. Especially if you're in the, awareness, because when you go after people's money scams, they will come after you. Lock up your
and that's
Facebook,
a good point.
Lock up everything.
Yes. Lock up everything. Go private. Do not post pictures of your children online. If your child is old enough to have a TikTok account, have them make it private. Make sure it's age restricted. Just make sure that you are taking care of yourself. And for the love of God, please do not put your real name anywhere on TikTok or any social media, really. And if you do, make sure it's private and only your family knows about it. I had to lock mine down, just in case. Just please be careful, just in general. And don't be giving no money to people on the internet.
Yeah.
People will come after, there's people that don't care. They will come after your kids and whatever they can find.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Jobs.
And here's the thing, I just can't believe somebody would, when you stand 10 toes down with somebody, and yeah, we had to learn the hard way, but we already had to take a step back from her, right? I know a lot of people said, we try to warn you, we try to warn you, I know a lot of people try to warn us, but, we ended up stepping back on our own, and I get it, yes, everybody tried to warn us, and we went ahead and took a step back anyways because of what she was doing. And I just can't believe somebody would sell you out for $1 for, to avoid being in a lawsuit, to avoid, the persona that she put on, the facade that she put on, that she was this Billy Bad ASS, right? Like she was untouchable. Okay, but when push came to shove, and she found out that the Mexican homie account they filed a lawsuit against our account and three other people on TikTok, she buckled at the knees and went directly to Dax Emery and basically almost pleading with him to not involve her in the lawsuit. Like, really? I thought you were this tough person on TikTok, but you buckled. You buckled and you sold us out.
And she probably did that because of the warrant, the 20-plus-year-old warrant that she has been running from this whole time, which she could have just literally went and turned herself in, maybe done some paperwork and got out. But instead, she ran from it. And then she blamed, said that she was going to sue them for her civil rights being, her civil human rights or something being broken and blah, 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 you know, just threatening a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't going to happen anyways.
What you just said, it reminds me of somebody else right now on TikTok right now. Like that, I was watching this a little bit ago that just got locked up, and she's threatening to sue this and that and this and that. It reminds me of the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
When I announced that I was going to come for SP, that all gloves were off, I started doing my research. I'm going very far back, and I'm going to get answers. If they're, I don't care what it is that I have to do. I'm going to get a lot of answers for the questions that I'm asking, and I'm reaching out to people I'm not going to mention. I'm not going to mention who I'm reaching out to, what is, who I reached out to. But I can tell you, she's not a very smart criminal, because I know she likes to cover up her tracks, right? She likes to be one to cover up her tracks. SP, I'm going to let you know right now, you're not the smartest cookie in the box. You're not the brightest crayon in the box. I've been tracking your moves. I know where you're at, SP. I know exactly where you're at. And if you think I don't know where you're at, she tried to throw a lot of people off when she was posting videos of her on highways, showing signs, going this way, going that way. SP, I know where you're located. You try to throw everybody off by traveling down highways, showing that you were going to this state, that state. You didn't.
They weren't even her videos.
Exactly. So there was no way she was going to throw me off. And I went and I started following her trail. She's not very bright, because I even traced her new alias name to where she's at. And even without her new name that she's utilizing on social media, I know where she's at, and she's not going to throw me off. She could run with the narrative that and try to put it out there that she's going here, going there. SP, just know that I know exactly where you're located. You are not in any which way going to throw me off. I have your address. I have phone numbers. And if you think I don't, try me. Just try me, because I told you I was coming for you. I told you the gloves are off. I told you the moment that I found out that you sold us out for $1, me and Mrs. Homie. And at that, you didn't even do a very good job, because that lawsuit was dismissed and our names, our actual government names, were never put on there. I told you I was coming, and that's exactly what I'm doing. You are not going to escape me. I promise you. I know where you're at. And I know you're watching, SP. I know you're watching. Just know, I'm not going to stop until I make sure that you are in shiny bracelets.
Hey, I'm going to drop, but hey, there's another thing you can look out for if you're trying to find her is look out for a cardboard sign says yard sale.
Thank you, Otto.
Have a good day, guys.
Have a good day, Otto.
Bye.
Bye.
You know she's watching us, and you know she watches the restream over on YouTube, and you know that she's over there cussing us, and you know she's saying to all the people that she's probably still talking to, the truth will stand when the world's on fire. That's what she keeps saying. But that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, you're very true, KK. And I know she's watching. I know she's made all her accounts private on all social media platforms. SP, I promise you, I am coming for you full throttle. You think that I don't know where you're located? I have your address. I have phone numbers associated with everybody associated with you. The moment you think you're in the clear, you're not in the clear. You're not. You know how the Mexican homie in the community rolls over here. I know where you're at, and I'm gonna make it my mission to see you locked up behind bars. That is my mission. The amount of money that you took from people on the back end is unacceptable. You're gonna be a prime example because you at one point claimed that you were helping DV survivors. You're gonna be a prime.
And she never was. To my knowledge, she never was. Like she helped a few people here and there, but they always paid her back. She never just did it out of the kindness of her own heart. It was maybe $10 here, $10 there. But I assure you that it was likely someone else's money that she actually used to send to them, because she would ask Nancy all the time. She would ask actually several people, several times, hey, I have a DV person that needs some help, blah, blah, blah. Someone would go get like some Visa gift cards to send to her, so they have, proof of everything, to help these DV people, and there never was. So she had something going on, that somebody else on here that I won't name, because we don't want to get involved with that, but she had something kind of going on like that. This is the same thing, claiming she was helping people when in reality, she never helped anybody. Never helped anybody. I don't want to say never, but seldom actually helped the people who she said she was going to help.
There's our attorney, right? There's our attorney, right? There's our attorney, Tamari Conard, also known as SP. Corporate lawyer at the Maxwell House Group. There's our attorney, right?
Yeah, Joan Marie. And that's the thing. A lot of people in her community were DV survivors. They were, in recovery, something of that nature. It's like everything she had, we all related to, and that's how we all came together. So that is something that I do appreciate her more than anything. I have met the most incredible people I have ever met in my entire life here through her community. But it was all a lie. It was all a facade. None of it actually happened.
Shasky goes, that's the crypt keeper. I've heard that. Yeah. See, here's the thing. I'm digging up every single thing. This has been talked about before. Chris, True Tellers, had already talked about this. I'm digging up everything and anything on SP. And if she thinks I'm not, she better think again. So there's her bogus being a corporate lawyer, because she was never a corporate lawyer.
And speaking of Chris Tell the Truth, she does have several videos that have good information on them, on her page. So you guys make sure to go check those out and, press all the buttons or whatever, because she does have a lot of like receipts and screenshots and stuff put up. So
if she thinks I wasn't going to find all her everywhere on social media accounts, we're talking about, KK, somebody said who? Country Bumpkin says, KK, do you remember her battling an older lady? Said her gifts went to victims. Yeah.
Maybe. That might have been before me. Look, a lot of stuff happened I wasn't even a mod for a full year. A lot of stuff happened.
Oh, Miss Amy.
that
Yeah, she's
little
about a
year.
Miss Amy. She's about a Miss Amy a lot. Yeah, I remember
Oh
her.
yeah, Miss Amy.
Yeah, she used to battle Miss Amy a lot. SP, you think I wouldn't find you even in the fabric community, the creative fabric community, you know, because you like doing arts and crafts? Did you think I wouldn't find you in the arts and crafts community? I told you, SP, I was going to find you everywhere. I told you I was coming for you. And I know you're watching. I know you're watching. She
Oh,
thought I-
and her Etsy account, couldn't find any shred, any evidence of any Etsy account ever. So her claiming that Chris Tell the Truth got her Etsy account taken down after, you know, everything else I've seen, I don't believe that. I don't believe it one little bit. Nope. I don't believe that there was ever even an Etsy account.
Yeah, she thought that. See, she thought she was untouchable. See, I never considered myself to be untouchable. Never have, never will. But SP has always been the one that thought that she was always untouchable. Now, she's not, because now that I know where she lives, now that I know where she's staying, now that I have phone numbers, I have email addresses. This is one of her old email addresses that she, in my opinion, she still has it to date. Mind at Play 2003, and I have the rest of it.
Yep, she does. She does, because she uses one. She uses that one for her Restream login, because, as a lot of people know, I used to stream for her YouTube. So yes, that is one of her Restream logins, and I do believe she still has that and checks it often.
Oh, she has to. You know, like I said, the moment she thought she was untouchable, she knew that I was about to dig up everything, every social media account, everywhere she went. I don't care what websites she's on. I'm finding every single one. I already know where she lives, so that's a good thing. She can run. She can't hide. Like I said, I'm going to make it my job. I have her address. I'm not going to dox it. I'm not going to dox the address, and I'm not going to dox the phone numbers. She knows. She messed with the wrong community. She done effed around, and she's going to find out. Not with this community. It's not going to happen. And I'm digging up every single thing. And all these accounts, like all the Instagram accounts, everything, they're private. She's went private everywhere on social media.
Yeah, she, so her Instagram used to be public until someone had found photos of her hubby and figured out who he was. And then she went private on that. And then, of course, after my live stream that I had on her, she blocked me, for one, which, whatever, I seen that coming, no big deal. But that's when she went private on all of her accounts. And I'm sure she started locking down every single other account once more people started talking about her. And I really don't think she realized how many people would see the truth after. So what Chris Tell the Truth was saying, there was a whole spat with that. We didn't want to believe it, we didn't want to believe it. But once I came out and I found out about the money and I told everybody about the money, now everyone's like, holy crap, all this stuff that Chris Tell the Truth was saying, they went and took a second look at that. So it's been fantastic. And I know that there's other people that have also spoke about her before, and that's appreciative. Just all of the evidence. It's a paper trail. The internet's forever, and everything just circles back. And I really hope that people who haven't opened their eyes will open their eyes just after this continuous awareness and stop giving her money and stop enabling her, because like I said yesterday, that $10 could be her last, just like with anybody else on here.
You're right. And somebody said they would wipe themselves off. They would wipe themselves off if they ever found themselves on our live streams. Don't worry.
That's why she hasn't been live. She's uploaded a couple of videos to YouTube, but she stopped doing lives on YouTube. I don't know if she's posted anything on TikTok, because I blocked her and she blocked me, and she's private. So who knows? Who knows? Absolutely, Paisley. Absolutely. People would go after you guys. And there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be scared of anymore. You might get some nasty messages still. I can't guarantee that. But with all of the proof that's continuously coming out about her, she doesn't have an army behind her like she used to. And I can say that with confidence.
You're right, KK. At this point, she better hide underneath a rock. She better, even if she hides underneath a rock, it doesn't matter. I'm still, like I said, SP. Every single account that you make, even if they're new accounts, I'm gonna find you. I made a promise to me and Mrs. Homie and the community that I was coming after her, that I was gonna find her. I found her. And I am a man of my word. She effed around. She really did F around. And she's about to find out. Don Kitchen 186, SP will be one of the ones that I will have the biggest folders on. SP will be one of the ones that I will have like 6-7 folders on.
It's a lot, because it goes back. It goes way back. Who knows if she was doing it on Facebook, like scamming and all that stuff on Facebook. I know she was allegedly doing it on YouTube. I say allegedly because, once again, I didn't see any proof of it, just, people talking about it. But she went back and forth. She kind of flip-flopped back and forth from YouTube to TikTok. I think she might have started out on TikTok and then went to YouTube and then came back to TikTok. But it's been going on for years and years and years. So, no telling how much stuff is under aliases that we don't know about yet that she had been doing.
And I believe KK over on YouTube, she is right now what you call trying to find new victims. I think that she is finding more new victims to collect money from on the back end. One of the posts that I seen, which is I think a completely fabricated story, that she's working. She is not gonna have no job. I don't believe that she's working.
Yeah, she said she was working third shift or something like that. I also talked to some other people that spoke to her personally that had seen the light, that told me some details that she told them. And the things they said, it just wasn't realistic. It wasn't realistic at all, what they said that she was doing. It just wasn't realistic. I don't think she's working. She hasn't worked in a very long time. It's just not realistic, but she absolutely is, or she was taking people's money from the YouTube, because I seen it in the comments, someone asking, well, how can I support your YouTube? Your information isn't in your bio or whatever. And she was like, oh, I have CA. So I'm sure that people were giving her money. I mean, just as of 2025, January, some of these people, before they opened their eyes, were giving her money still, like hundreds of dollars. And then once they knew about all the other money, they stopped.
And you know what she's doing over on YouTube? She hasn't learned her lesson, right? Do you see what she's doing over on YouTube? This was a post from a month ago. I pulled this last night.
Yeah,
she's still
covering
about
Lori
kids.
Jones.
She's still talking
Lori
about
Jones
kids.
and the kids.
Yeah. She's still talking about kids. She hasn't learned her lesson. I'm going to teach her a lesson. Yes, I'm going to teach her a lesson. She needs to quit talking about kids. So yes, SP, I know you're watching. I'm about to teach you a very big lesson. You haven't learned your lesson not to be talking about little ones and children. Because this post was a month ago. I pulled this last night. You know how long it took me to, everything that I've showed right now, you know how long it took me last night to get all that information? 45 minutes. Not even an hour. All that stuff I just showed everybody, I did it in 45 minutes. So SP, because I know you're watching, give me a few more hours out of the day, because I already know where you live. Give me a few more hours, or at least half a day. I'm going to say about half a day.
And, and I know nothing about, well, I know a little bit about Lori Jones. I don't know much about Andy. I know that your favorite villain and Simply Sophie, I think that's how you say her name, over on YouTube, cover Lori Jones and the whole Andy saga. But her just like kind of going straight to those allegations once again is kind of like, that's what she does. Now, I don't know if those allegations are true or not, whatever, but that seems to be always what she goes to. Someone who, and I don't like to judge people by their past, who didn't have anything to do with her own children, or they're judging people's parental capabilities when she has, it's just hypocritical. The hypocrisy is just screaming in your face. So it's just wild to me. Like, don't throw stones if you have a glass house yourself type thing.
Yeah, you're right. And like I said, she's in for a rude awakening because, sorry, everybody, I'm trying to grab something real quick. The thing about this whole situation is, like I said, she tried to throw a lot of people off. And one of the reasons we stepped away was because she was talking about kids and children, and she hasn't learned her lesson. So she tried to throw people off her trail and KK said those are not even her videos, by showing these videos on when she was still posting them on TikTok, showing signs that were leading to other states. You didn't throw me off. You didn't throw me off one bit. Even with the new alias that you're using, SP, I still tracked you to where you live right now. And that's the fun.
It's just, why in the world? So if she doesn't want to be found, right? Why would she show, for one, where she's traveling, all of the signs? Why would she take a video of a dog in the middle of the road showing street signs and a very large identifiable building? It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense. I'm like, why is she going to Texas? And then it hit me. She's not going to Texas. Why would she show that if she's running?
No. And that was, her showing, like putting all these videos out, like going through this state, going through here. I knew it was a tactic for her to throw people off. Like, oh, well, she's going over here. She's going over there. She's going to this state. I wasn't fooled. I wasn't fooled at all. Even with the new alias that she used, I was all like, you ain't throwing me off, off the trail of what you're doing. And it wasn't hard to find her. It wasn't hard at all. Because for me, like I said, it took me all of 45 minutes to get what I got. And last night I made a few phone calls. Last night I made a few phone calls. I'm not going to mention what transpired, but I made a few phone calls last night. If you were here for that one phone call we made, when that guy answered, then you kind of have an idea of what transpired. Yeah, yeah, Katie, but you know when I laugh like that, you know what happens when I make phone calls? I get through to people. And I called some of them numbers that are associated with SP. I'll release some of them phone calls very soon. I won't release them today, but I will release some phone calls. And that way everybody could be surprised. I'm holding the best. I am holding the best as we move along in this whole situation at hand. But I got a few more phone calls I got to make. And I'm going to get her on the phone. So, SP, answer the phone. Because no matter what, you're going to have to talk to me. You're going to have to talk to me over the phone. And tell me why you're so conniving. And explain to me why you took all that money on the back end. So answer the phone. Just answer it, SP. That's all. We could have the conversation or you could avoid it. But we're going to have the conversation, whether you like it or not.
For those of you asking, yes, his lives are on my YouTube, but I'm thinking he's saying that he made these phone calls privately. He made them privately, and then he said he will release them. So I think that's what he's saying. So this phone calls to these people he's talking about right now, I don't think he did it on a live stream. I think he's talking about, Ryan, yesterday, he can get through to people. So that's on my YouTube, but not what he's talking about right now. But if he ever does show us, I will be uploading them to YouTube.
Don't worry. You know I'm a man of my word, and I will be showing phone calls made to SP. And eventually she has to answer that phone. Eventually she needs to have that conversation with me, why she sold us out the way she did. And I'll share those phone calls with everybody. And then live stream uploaded to YouTube because KK does record the live streams. And let's see what she has to say. I want to see what her excuses are going to be. But then her excuses are not going to work with me. But I don't know exactly when I'm going to release these recordings, but they're coming soon, everybody. You know, I'm working in the background. And that's the way we're going to conduct ourselves. We're going to do this the right way. And since I know where she lives, I don't know what to tell her.
Are you still on TikTok?
We're talking about SP.
Damn, we got a game in it now.
Hi, beautiful lady.
Hello, my love.
She just woke up from her nap.
But yes, I do have all the previous lives on my YouTube. It's the same name as here. And you know, I hope she gets caught. I hope she gets caught so she will have to pay for the things that she did. I really do. And that might seem mean to some of you.
Oh, Miss Homie. Mrs. Homie's in the background talking some mess. Miss Homie's all like woke up to Miss Homie didn't even know I was going to talk about SP. Miss Homie
neither.
woke up
It's a good
and
surprise.
chose. Yeah, Miss Homie woke up and chose, violence. That's what Mrs. Homie woke up to, and this is very. Well, Miss Homie said F it. Well, you know Miss Homie, she calls it for what it is. But I'll release phone calls, I'll release recordings, and she better have that conversation with me. SP, I know you're still watching. Because once SP gets to watching.
Oh, because she's a fucking mod for another Bernadette, and Shannon now we hear.
Who?
That's me.
Oh, well, she can mod.
That's what we heard last night.
That she's
Yeah,
a
we
mod.
heard last night for Bernadette. That's allegedly that's what we heard last night.
Oh.
Yup. Allegedly, that's what we heard.
And if Bernadette has her as a moderator, Bernadette, the best advice I could give you, if Bernadette, if you have SP as a moderator on some type of new account or anything like that, run, run.
Yep.
That's all I can tell you because uh, you ain't gonna like what's gonna come to you. I'm
Okay.
I'm putting the warning out there.
For the heard what we heard that SP is a mod for Bernadette. That's what we heard last night. I haven't seen any proof of it, but allegedly on her live stream, and it was her account. She was like, "Thank you, Cherry Blossom Special, for your support," something like that. And people are saying that they've seen her account in there. This is all allegedly. I have not seen it for myself. But you better bet I'm going to get some proof.
Flipping Harley, I think.
I don't know, Mrs. Homie, but we're gonna find out. Well, we are gonna find out.
Well, make sure she knows my invitation's still open. I'd love to have lunch with that fucking snake.
Mrs. Homie, don't make us lose this account.
And if anybody in here has given money to her in 2024 specifically, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love receipts. Your name will never, ever, ever be given out publicly. What we're worried about right now is just the totals, just the amount. So if you had given her any money behind the scenes in 2024 and even 2025, please reach out. You will remain anonymous. I'm just worried about the amount because right now we're sitting at a little bit above 21,000, and that's what I can prove, like with receipts, with like actual receipts. I could post them up, and it'll all add up to roughly $21,000.
Yeah, if anybody was a victim of SP, Cherry Blossom Special, Phoenix Rising 007, and all the bogus accounts that she has, please reach out. Please reach out to KK. You will remain anonymous.
Don't be scared of that bitch. She ain't got no more power.
Miss Homie, you're going to make us lose this account. Please do not be scared of her. Reach out to KK. Your name will never be disclosed. You'll remain anonymous. And SP, my message to you is answer the phone. Answer that effing phone.
What she always told us, you have to text her first and then call. So she always told us, text her first and then call.
Oh, no.
But if you call 3 times in a row, if it's on Do Not Disturb, it'll go through.
No. She just needs to answer that phone because we're going to have that conversation. So, SP, I know you're watching. Answer that phone because I'm going to call nonstop till you pick it up and explain to me why you're a snake in the grass, why you're a traitor, why you're a backstabbing, conniving individual. Answer the phone because I'm not going to stop until you answer that phone. And even at that, I'm not going to stop until you get locked up. That's the way it's going to go down. So, yeah, I want to thank you, KK, for getting it in the box. It is greatly appreciated. If anything, we gained a great and amazing, beautiful community that came over from SPs. Her loss is our gain. And, that's the great thing about it. We have a beautiful, amazing community over here. And SP, I'm not done exposing you. I'm going way far back. I'm talking to people that you wouldn't think I would be talking to. Now, you effed around, and you're going to find out. Thank you, KK. Any last words?
No, other than just, kind of piggyback off what you said. Thank you. Allowing, your platform to be used for what it's used for. We appreciate it. We have an amazing community. I have met some of the most greatest people. I have helped so many people with resources. just because of this community and who I've met and who I know. So I will forever be grateful to her for that. I will say that. But other than that, I hope she gets found and I hope she pays for the things that she's done, especially to those children and especially because of the false narrative that she likes to spin about men.
Thank you, KK. I hope you have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you. SP, I'm coming for you. I told you the gloves are off. And I'm not going to stop until you're locked up. Because you got locked up and they won't let you out. Yep. I'll be singing that song when I see you in an orange jumpsuit. So I'm not going to stop till I see her locked up. And that's what my goal is, and I'm a man of my word. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here, everybody. I got a basketball game to attend to here shortly. Have a good night. Have a blessed evening. SP, this song's for you. Snake in the Grass. Here you go, SP.
Once you pull the trigger, you can't put the bullet back in the gun. Once you light the fuse, you know all that you can do is run. So many people know your secrets. I know the one that cuts the deepest. You're gonna be broken in pieces. When the truth comes out, when the truth comes out, you can run, but you know it's ending. At the bottom of the grave, you're digging out. When the truth comes out, yeah, you know this is just the beginning. Lights crumble down when the truth comes out. Lights crumble down when the truth comes out. You can try to cover up the lies.